Friends, before starting today's horror story, I would like to tell you a very interesting stat. 80% of our viewers who watch our stories haven't subscribed to our channel. And if you are one of them, you have to do a small task where you have to click to the subscribe button and also press the bell icon so that you are the first to get the notification as soon as our video arrives. Circus Today's story is based on the real incidents of the Circus Hotel situated in America. Daniel's father loved the circus and wanted his son to see it too. Daniel was not very excited, but he came along to make his father happy. They visited Circus in Las Vegas, the world's only permanent circus that is also a hotel. When they reached the place, everything was bright and full of energy. Lights flashed, performers practiced tricks, and the smell of popcorn filled the air. Daniel's father was thrilled, remembering his childhood visits. But Daniel did not feel the same excitement. Since they arrived a day before the show, they booked a room at the hotel to rest. The hotel was lively, with guests enjoying games and performers walking around. As Daniel looked around, he started to see why his father loved this place so much. Even though he did not enjoy the circus as much as his father, he knew this trip was special. He would always remember this moment with his father. Daniel and his father took the key to room number 123 and went upstairs. As they reached their floor, they both felt a strange heaviness in the air, like it was harder to breathe. Daniel's father started unlocking the door when suddenly Daniel heard the sound of a child laughing close to his ear. He quickly looked around, but there was no one nearby. He didn't mention it to his father and quietly stepped inside. The moment they entered, they froze in shock. The entire room was a mess. Clothes, papers, and furniture were scattered everywhere. It looked as if a strong wind had torn through the place, though the windows were shut. Nothing was in its proper place, and the air inside felt unsettling. Without saying a word, Daniel and his father rushed back outside. They saw a housekeeper working nearby and hurried toward her. "Excuse me," Daniel's father called out. "Something is wrong with our room." The housekeeper paused, then slowly turned to face them. Her expression shifted, and she hesitated before answering. Something about her reaction made Daniel even more uneasy, and Daniel started thinking if she was hiding something about this floor. As soon as the housekeeper came, they took him to the room, but to their surprise, everything in the room was kept at the right spot, unlike a moment ago. Daniel and his father couldn't believe their eyes, as just moments ago they had seen everything scattered here and there in the room, but now everything was kept as it should have been. As soon as Daniel's father turned back to express his gratitude to the housekeeper, he wasn't there and was nowhere to be seen in the entire corridor. Daniel and his father were finding everything very strange, but ignoring everything, they entered the room to take some rest. Daniel's father fell asleep quickly, but Daniel wasn't tired. Once his father was asleep, Daniel quietly left the room to explore the hotel. As he walked down the corridor, he noticed a strange-looking woman entering a room. He thought it was odd, but kept walking. Moments later, he saw the same woman entering another room. Feeling uneasy, Daniel continued down the corridor, only to see her entering a third room. His nervousness grew. Deciding it was best to return to his room, Daniel turned around. To his horror, the woman was now standing at the end of the corridor, staring directly at him. Her eyes were blood red, her hair was wild, and her face looked terrifying. As Daniel stared in shock, he noticed her hands were unusually long, almost unnatural. Suddenly he heard the sound of a child crying echoing in his ears. Frozen in fear, Daniel didn't know what to do. Meanwhile, back in the room, Daniel's father woke up. He turned to his side and was startled to see someone lying next to him. Confused and frightened, he tried to make sense of what was happening. The eerie atmosphere seemed to grow heavier around them both. Daniel's father thought it was Daniel sleeping beside him, tired from the day. But when he tried to wake him for dinner, his heart sank. Under the sheet was not Daniel, but the lifeless body of a child. The child's skin was blue, veins bulging out, and a bullet wound marked his forehead. Shocked, Daniel's father screamed, and suddenly, the child's eyes opened. Terrified, he bolted out of the room, desperate to find Daniel. He ran through the corridor, shouting Daniel's name, but there was no response. His heartbeat started growing as he couldn't find anyone. As he turned a corner, he froze. The same woman with long hands stood there, glaring at him with fiery red eyes. Her wild hair and terrifying face made him shiver. He wasn't able to speak anything. Before he could react, her arms stretched unnaturally long and grabbed his throat. She lifted him off the ground effortlessly. The woman's voice echoed through the corridor as she screamed, "Why did you kill my son?" Her rage was overwhelming, and Daniel's father struggled to breathe. He realized he was trapped in a nightmare far beyond his understanding. The haunting presence of the woman and her child had turned their stay into a horrifying time. Daniel's father fainted while looking at her. When he came back to his senses, he found himself in his room and saw Daniel lying on the floor. Daniel's father went to him quickly and noticed that Daniel wasn't breathing. Daniel's father wasn't understanding anything. He saw the same woman and the child, whose dead body was seen by Daniel's father standing in front of him. The next morning, the housekeeper knocked on Daniel and his father's door many times, but no one answered. Worried about the guests, the hotel staff decided to break the door and check inside. When they entered, they found Daniel and his father lying unconscious on the floor. They quickly called for help and rushed them to the hospital. After waking up, Daniel and his father explained everything that had happened to them. The housekeepers listened carefully and then revealed a chilling truth. They told Daniel and his father that the Circus Hotel was haunted. Years ago, a woman and her child, who worked in the circus, had lived in room number 123. One night, after a show, they had an argument with some dangerous men. The men became furious and shot both the mother and her child. Since then, strange things had been happening in the hotel, especially in room 123. Many guests had reported unusual sounds, feelings of suffocation, and even sightings of the woman and her child. Daniel and his father realized they had experienced the spirits who had a tragic past. They left the hotel, shaken but grateful to be safe. The woman, trapped in her circus costume with unnaturally long hands, was never able to remove it. Since that tragic night, she has wandered through the halls of the Circus Hotel, haunting those who enter. Her spirit, filled with anger and sorrow, refuses to rest. People say both she and her child seek revenge, blaming every guest for their terrible fate, for whatever had happened to them. Some hear the child's laughter echoing in the corridors, while others catch the woman staring from the shadows in the corridor. Daniel and his father must have encountered them, experiencing the anger of the forgotten souls who had a bad time when they were alive. The hotel, once a place of joy and entertainment, now carries a chilling reputation. Many visitors report strange occurrences, whispers in the night, doors slamming on their own, and an overwhelming feeling of suffocation. Those who stay in room 123 never forget their time there. Some never return at all. If you like the story, then do subscribe to our channel, Bloody Monday, and keep watching for more such spine-chilling horror videos. Please do share the videos with your friends and family so that we could get motivation for uploading more of such spooky videos. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our eerie, heart-pounding videos. Keep watching and stay brave.